Welcome back. Joining me now is Democratic Senator Cory Booker of New Jersey. Senator Booker, welcome back to Meet the Press.
It's really good to be back. Thank you.
It is great to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us. I want to start off on some big news this week. President Trump launched a strike against a Venezuelan boat he alleges was carrying a large amount of drugs. Here's the video he posted. Overnight, the vice president dismissed critics who called this strike a, quote, war crime. Senator Rand Paul responded by saying, quote, what a despicable and thoughtless sentiment it is to glorify killing someone without a trial. Senator, do you think that the president has the authority to unilaterally strike a boat carrying alleged drug smugglers?
No, he doesn't. It is a massive expansion of presidential authority against the rules that abide by the use of military force. And it's another example of Donald Trump breaking laws within the United States, giving no justification for his action. All that we've heard so far is that he might be relying on the 9/11 authorization for the use of military force. And that is outrageous. And folks need to understand, as the president continues to expand his authority in a way that is very authoritarian, that we all should be concerned. The rule of law matters, and the form of government we have mandates a president work within those bounds and does not just take these kind of actions unilaterally.
I want to talk about one of the big developments on Capitol Hill this week, that explosive hearing with HHS Secretary Kennedy, grilled by Democrats and Republicans for his vaccine policies, his vaccine skepticism. As you know, a number of Democrats have called for him to resign. Do you, Senator, think that Secretary Kennedy should resign?
Well, let's be clear about what's happening to America's health. Donald Trump and his agents right now are making health care inaccessible to millions of more Americans. They're attacking the science that guides our decisions about health care policy. They are making it more difficult to access vaccines that in many cases are life-saving. He promised to make America healthy, and we're seeing that his policies are actually creating more health care crises in our country than not. Now, I'm one of these big believers that when I see Justice Department officials and State Department officials and many other people resigning because the President of the United States is doing things that are immoral and dangerous, I believe, frankly, that all of his cabinet should be taking a moral position, especially those that are parts of agencies like Health and Human Services or the Justice Department. When you have a president that is acting in the way that he should, that all of them should be stepping down, especially those that are part of an agency that should be protecting Americans' health.
So you're saying, yes, he should step down?
Yes.
Okay. In the past, though, you have expressed a willingness to work with Secretary Kennedy, particularly on issues related to food nutrition. I want to play something that you said back in April. Take a listen.
I love the ambition. I love the things that he's saying. And by the way, they're doing some things in changing dietary standards and the like. And I'm going to continue where I can find common ground with RFK. I'm going to do everything I can to support and to lead block and to join him in the things that are right. But far be it from me to sit quietly when you're hurting our children with your policies.
Senator, if he doesn't resign, do you think you can still find common ground with Secretary Kennedy?
You know, politics is often frustrating because we're failing to do something about the problem. I'm sitting here in Newark, New Jersey, where my residents can easily access highly sugared processed foods and have a hard time accessing quality foods, nutritious foods. We live in a country that subsidizes the big food corporations who are literally poisoning us with the way that they are manufacturing a lot of the foods that they're preparing. And our ag subsidies go to those highly processed foods and not to the foods that we want Americans to eat. And so I'm going to continue to lead on this. Before you heard RFK saying things like that, I was taking steps in Congress to try to help Americans have better access to healthy, nutritious food. And yes, I'll work with anybody that wants to help my community be healthier and better access the foods we need to thrive. But let me tell you right now, the Trump administration is hurting the health of Americans. Our air quality is worse There are more poisons affecting our families, and healthcare is being stripped away from tens of millions of Americans. You cannot say that you're about making America healthy again when you are doing so much to hurt people's access to healthy foods, like suspending nutrition programs, to healthcare itself, and also making our environment so much less healthy.
Senator, another big issue on Capitol Hill, the push to release the files related to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Some of his survivors speaking out this week at the Capitol. You have Congressman Thomas Massie and Marjorie Taylor Greene saying that they will read a list if those survivors put together a list of people who they say were involved in Jeffrey Epstein's circle. Do you think and would you support reading such a list out loud on the House floor, even if it includes names of people who criminally haven't been accused of anything?
So let me just say, this is another painful example of Donald Trump looking America in the eye and lying over and over again. He created this crisis. He told the American public that what's going on here has not been fair, transparent, or having any accountability. And now that he's in office, he is not providing transparency, accountability, or honesty about what's going on. Thank God there are some Republicans finally getting enough of a backbone to criticize Donald Trump's lies. I hope that continues in other areas vital to Americans' well-being. So I firmly believe that Congress should be taking action in a bipartisan way to create accountability and transparency here.
As you heard me discuss with Secretary Bessent, we just got that jobs report, lower jobs than expected, created last month. And it comes as Congress is now just over 3 weeks away from a potential government shutdown. Here's what your colleague Chris Murphy says about it. He says, quote, "I don't know how Democrats sign on, vote for a budget that doesn't roll back Trump's corruption and his lawlessness. Senator, are you willing to shut down the government to defend Democrats' priorities?"
I'm willing to fight for Americans. A budget is a moral document. It reflects your priorities.
But will you
This
shut down the
president's
government,
first
Senator?
8-9 months.
Will you shut down the government over it?
The government, if there's a government shutdown, the Republicans control the White House and they control Congress. It'll be them that shuts things down. There's one pathway to getting a budget done. That the way it's been done the entire time I've been a United States Senator is in a bipartisan manner. But our president does not care about bipartisanship. Our president doesn't care about the independence of agencies he's attacking. He doesn't care about the independence of the Justice Department if he's targeting his political enemies like my colleague Adam Schiff. This is a president that does not have the morals necessary to reach across the aisle and work within the bounds of our Constitution. He is reckless and he's hurting Americans. And I'm not giving away my vote for a budget that's going to hurt New Jerseyans or anybody in our nation.
All right, Senator, before I let you go, I have to say a very big congratulations to you because you got engaged this week. So on behalf of all of Meet the Press, congratulations. Your fiance not involved in politics. And I wonder, Senator, how have you helped her prepare to step into this political spotlight that you're in?
I'm not sure if there's anything that can prepare people to be thrust like she has in the public spotlight. We have had a blessing for a long time now to grow our relationship. This is, again, as my mom tells me, perhaps the biggest blessing I've received in my life, to meet somebody like her and to have this and share this great commitment. So thank you for that. I'm lucky. Pray for us. But I'm so excited and feel so grateful. And thank you to everybody in our country who's just sent us such well wishes and are supporting us as we take this journey. And I just feel so much of a deeper joy than I've ever felt before.
All right, Senator Cory Booker, we wish you both all the best and a hearty congratulations again. Thank you so much for joining us on a very big week for you. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
We thank you for watching. And remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.